things from your...
So I wore a baby pacifier to school, and now everyone's doing it.
So we moved on to baby pacifiers now. I don't even know what's coming next. Okay, but just tell me what's wrong with wearing a baby pacifier all day? You see, biting down and sucking on a baby pacifier all day causes pressure on your teeth. And guess what pressure on your teeth does? It makes your teeth move. So what's gonna happen is if you do that all the time, weekly, you're gonna cause yourself to have an anterior open bite. Looks like this. So I know you think it's fun and all, but probably don't do that.
So I wore a
What is going on, FG3000? Back in the place to be, and welcome to Color Bang. Now, normally, I wouldn't cover a game like this, but two things, right? It's December, ain't nothing going on, and it's the sheer blatanality of the situation. The what, FG? The blatanality. Real word, don't even bother fact-checking it. All right, so here I am. I'm a player. All right, so that's my general range, and then when it comes to defeating opponents, it looks like it's just going to be just auto lock on as long as they're in your range here. I got it. Oh, reload. Oh, okay. Very cool. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Splatoon at home, Splatoon on the go. You love to see. Just go ahead and get ourselves some ammo, paint the board blue, get filled up, and then defeat my opponents. Got it. Here's my special move.
Have you ever waited a very long time for something? Maybe it's to grow a couple more inches, or maybe it's finally gets Bronya on your standard pose. There is something that I have been waiting for a very long time. A 5-star Harmony character. This video is not about her. However, not even a 5-star Harmony character can regenerate SP. At least not yet. But you know who can regenerate SP? Hanya. Let's talk about her. Our newest overworked judge from the 10 Lords Commission, Hanya, is a physical Harmony character. And no, she is not a Foxian this time around. Hanya is actually one of the more simpler characters that's coming out. At least I don't have to do a TED Talk to explain how this character works. In simplest form, her unique trait is her ability to grant your team SP. She can also grant your team bonus stats and more damage, which every other Harmony characters can do. Let me just say this, if you have Dongfeng, Hanya should be as tempting to you as an answer cheat sheet to all your exams. Also, 1 + 1 equals infinite SP. I'll explain that later in the potential team synergy segment. Anyways, here are all the current Harmony characters in the game right now. And here is the Harmony character she told you not to worry about. The main reason we are looking at these comparisons is because most team comps will not be running more than 2 Harmony characters. So one question that we have to keep in mind throughout this video is, who is Hannya realistically replacing? Let's begin. If you ask me to pick one between Tingyun or Hannya, I honestly will not be able to make that choice. But if I get isekai'd by Truxon, reincarnated as Jing Yuan, and have to pick up support, I'll pick Tingyun. I'll let you decide on why. But honestly, the main point here is for me to tell you that these two are so neck and neck that it largely depends on the damage dealer. Both of these supports will boost the damage that a damage dealer can do. Tingyun does it through her number 1, her ult's damage percent buff. Number 2, her attack percent boost from her skill. Number 3, additional damage dealt from her talent and the latter parts of her skill. Hannya does it through her attack percent boost from her ult and trace. Number 2, damage boost with her talent when a burden mark target is hit. Now let's look at their signature traits. For Tingyun, it has to be your energy recovery. For Hannya, it has to be your SP recovery. Energy recovery is amazing, but so is SP recovery. You have to evaluate which one is more important for your team. So, in my opinion, Hannya cannot completely replace our favorite Foxian, Tingyun. Moving on to our next Foxian on the list, Yukong. I'm gonna be honest with you, this Yukong segment will be as lazy as my old high school summer book reports. I personally never liked the hassle that Yukong comes with when using her. Yukong's skill is by far the biggest attack percent boost out of all Harmony characters, which is the 80% attack percent boost. It's too bad that it's gone after you blink twice. Hannya's burden mark, on the other hand, is much more easier and forgiving to use. Instead of buffing attack percent, it simply adds more damage when the enemy marked target gets hit. Plus, it technically doesn't have a turn counter, so that's a huge forgiving aspect. You will never have to worry about when to use Hannya's ult because it has a 2-turn count. For Yukong, that's a way different story. You have to plan out when to use her ult and skill usage 10 turns ahead of time. My opinion, she is a godlike support. If and only if a player can optimize her for their team. But let's be honest, that takes luck, time, a correct team setting, and more luck. Not everyone can find that leprechaun with a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Hannya is that pot of gold directly in front of us. We don't have to work too hard to get the most out of Hannya, unlike Yukong. Therefore, in my opinion, Hannya can replace Yukong in every team, especially if Cooler Daniel is on the team. There is something that Yukong can't provide, and that is speed. When we talk about speed, we have to bring out the resident speed demon, Asta. When comparing speed boost, Asta is the Iron Chef, while the rest of the Harmony characters are playing in their Kids Kitchen playsets. Hannya does not change that statement at all. Hannya's speed buff is a singular speed buff, while Asta's speed buff is for the entire team. To top it off, Hanya's singular speed buff isn't even as high as Asta's team speed buff. But once we start talking about anything other than speed, Hannya starts to shine. The potential damage that Hannya can provide is way more than what Asta can provide. Both Hannya and Asta give a decent amount of attack percent boost in their own ways. In fact, Asta even gives out an additional defense percent boost. It's not a lot, but it's honest work. Once we look at Hannya's talent, we can see that it gives a damage dealt increase. It is an insane boost of damage, which in my opinion is way more beneficial than that little defense percent boost that Asta gives. Speed is Asta's domain, no doubt. But I haven't even mentioned Hannya's main advantage, which is her SP recovery. Depending on the scenario, Hannya can potentially recover 2 to 3 SP per turn rotation. That amount of SP can open up so many options in what your other teammates can do per turn. So in my opinion, if you value more damage output and the SP recovery over Asta's superior speed boost, then Hannya is your girl. Moving on to Bronya. Let's call it how we see it. An apple is an apple. An orange is an orange. A mother is a mother. A 5-star is a 5-star. Bronya is the queen of Harmony characters. She virtually has no close competitions, at least until we get to 1.6. But as of right now, she is the undisputed best support character in the game. So I'm not even going to try to compare the two, because just like how Goku versus Vegeta, Vegeta never wins. So I will only say this. Hanya's SP recovery is her strongest weapon. It is the most unique mechanic in the game so far and is exclusive only to her. In a situation where you will want Hanya over Bronya, is because the damage dealer that you're using doesn't work too well with Bronya herself. Before I move on to Hanya tips, please consider giving this video a thumbs up if it's been enjoyable thus far. Tip number 1, SP recovery count. A target marked by Hanya's skill will give out 1 SP for hits from basic attack, skill, or ult. The marked will be dispelled after the SP recovery is triggered twice. This means it takes 4 hits to get the 2 SP. This is very crucial to understand how to maximize getting in 4 hits before Hanya's second turn. Let's do a quick simulation. At the start of the turn, you want to use Hanya's skill first and mark, let's say, target A. Somehow, you want to make sure that the rest of your team are able to get off the 4 hits on target A before it is Hanya's turn again. This way, Hanya can reply her mark when it's her turn. Rinse, repeat, victory. An even more advanced version of this is to calculate the damage that you can dish out to make sure that the marked target dies on the 4th hit. What this will do is that it will trigger Hanya's trace for an additional SP, which makes it 3 SP instead of the usual 2 SP. PS, I'm 90% sure this is how her trace works, but if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. I know everyone's account is different. Here's a quick list of characters that I believe may synergize with Hanya and is worth giving a try to pair them up together. Number 1, Daniel Hong. Imagine Daniel is a SP hungry damage dealer. That part is not a secret in Honkai's story. It doesn't take a 200 IQ to point out how well these two will work together. So let me talk about the only concern about this pair up. What if there is a future 5-star Harmony character who can also recover SP? Wouldn't that make Hanya worthless? No, absolutely not. In fact, that might even make male version Ron Mei go even further beyond. Picture this. A team of Mr. Yangqing Beater number 2, Hanya, and this imaginary made-up future SP regen 5-star Harmony character who may or may not be a quantum type. Number 2, Seele. Seele is one of the only damage dealers who I believe can take full advantage of Hanya's trace. That trace being recovering 1 additional SP. Mainly because of Seele's resurgence ability. Real talk here, rather you ship Seele and Bronya for canon purposes or gameplay purposes, there is no doubt that these two are the best match for each other. The SP usage because of these two isn't low. Having Hanya on the team will relieve so much of the SP regen pressure. Number 3, dual DPS comps aren't too kind on SP usage, so do try out Hanya on a dual DPS comp. Number 4, QQ. In order to not make this video as long as a Zack Snyder Justice League movie, I won't regurgitate. Just rewind back to Imbibe the Lunae section. Personally, I do not plan on pulling for Hanya. She is simply not worth it for me. Do keep in mind that the value she can bring to your account may vastly be different to the value that she's bringing to my account. Reason number 1 for me is that Hanya is ultimately a support character who will synergize the most with skill point hungry damage dealers, such as Imagine Dragon and QQ. The damage dealers on my accounts are Jing Liu, Blade, Jing Yuan, and Clara. I do not have a single 4-star damage dealer because to me they are useful as a win brawl license. Except for you, QQ. You're great. Keep at it. But this is 100% a personal take. While skill points are very important in 99% of team comps, on the Jing Liu, Blade, or Clara comp, not so much. These 3 characters are so SP sufficient that their team won't run into any SP issues. At least I haven't. Plus, I will never break up the lovely Jing Yuan and Tengyun combo. For Jing Yuan, the speed that Asta may provide is much more important than the SP that Hanya can provide. Reason number 2, the cost to get her is too damn high. In this Honkai Star Rail economy, I don't have a single extra Primo Gem to spend on a 4-star character. First of all, I already have enough damage dealers, so even if Argenti is none nuke himself, I will still not pull for him. Second of all, I already have Silver Wolf. This all means I have 0 reasons to go into either banner unless Hanya herself shows up in my room if I manage to pull her. Let's talk about the other feature 4-stars on her banners. They are Asta and Lynx. Both characters are good enough that I personally won't be salty if I lose the 4-star guarantee to them. As our newest addition to our plethora of Harmony characters, Hanya is very impressive. Just based on the kit alone, she is very tempting. She provides something that no other characters right now can provide, and that is the SP recovery. In the end, is she worth pulling? Well, only you can answer that question. If you enjoyed the video, then I really appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Hey guys, it's me, EOD Gaming here, and we're going to be predicting the 1.6 banners that's going to come around. Of course, in 1.6 that's upcoming. We guessed the previous 4 stars, and how is my track record going? We actually managed to predict in the previous video, the same one that we did for 1.5. We predicted Danheng, Arlan, and Serval all coming out on the same patch, and I even made a comment in that video saying there is a chance that I think all 3 of them could appear on the same banner, but I don't think Hoyoverse will be that ridiculous to put all 3 DPSs in one. But true enough, we actually did see every single of these 3 DPSs coming out with Huohuo, which is insane. Unfortunately, Pella didn't come out. She was gone for a while. I thought she would maybe appear in this banner, but she didn't, to boost up maybe some more supportive role other than Huohuo. But Natasha was similar. I predicted Natasha because I felt that the banner might need a bit more sustain. They might sell Argenti with a sustain unit. Concept was similar because what came out, or Lynx was the one that came out, so conceptually I think it's close enough. By 1.6, we're going to look to improve that prediction, and I think I'm quite confident of my prediction for this one, but let's see how it goes. Overall, let's talk first about what we know. Basically, Danheng coming out here tells me that they stick very strictly so far to this 7 cycle missing rule. If a character hasn't appeared in 7 cycles, the highest chance that they will come out in the next one, no one has gone to 8 yet so far. If I scroll real quick, you see like once Hook even got to 6, Hook appeared. Danheng is the longest one. Tingyun also reached 6 and then she appeared. In this case, what that tells me is a character like Natasha, who hasn't been around for 7 patches, is likely going to appear in Ruanmei's banner. So I think this is the first possibility. And other than that, if you think about it, if she's an Ice Harmony character, there is a high chance that another character that could come out maybe is an Ice type kind of unit. My thoughts is March 7 might be one of the units that is on the table, but double, maybe a defensive unit is questionable. But I do think there's a high likelihood that she could come out. But if Natasha as well as March 7 comes out together, I don't think it's going to be a very popular banner to sell because there's a lot of sustained characters. In that situation, I do think a character, for example, like Pella is going to be much better to sell this banner. Especially if she's Ice Harmony, you get an Ice Nihility character. You have a banner like this, I think is already looking very strong. And that's my personal opinion. But March 7, I definitely do think can come out. So I'll put her probably in the second half here to appear. And that's my prediction so far. I would like to see a bit more Ice characters come in, especially with an Ice Harmony unit. Just maybe for a bit more synergy. March 7 hasn't been around for like 5 patches, and if she doesn't appear here, it's like 6 and 7. So which means she's coming out at 1.7. I think the chances are quite unlikely for that. Other characters that I think Ruanmei banner might have now is probably a DPS. If you have a character like Pella or even Mark 7, so this one I think can go either way. It can be here, but I don't think they will put these 3 characters in my opinion at least. It just seems a little bit too balanced. They might want to add in a bit more DPS, since after all, Ronmei is more of like a supportive character, being a harmony type unit as well. Pella, I think, can be a bit more damaging, so I think it makes a bit of sense why she could see here. But I think they could easily switch. Like, these two could be either one of the banners. I'm just not too sure which one right now. A DPS that hasn't appeared in a while would be Ting Xue. Ting Xue hasn't been appearing in like 3 times. Other than that, if we scroll down here, every character is like only 2 times, or even like Sampo is like 3 times. So why do I keep saying that? Is if you notice, like the fastest character that comes back is 1, 2, 3 usually, and like Lynx came back. Characters like Sampo is the only exception, where he is only 2 banners in between. He came out for Kafka's banner, and he came out again for Jing Liu's banner. But other than that, he's the only one that came out very quickly. And that tells me that any character who appeared, for example, like Hanya, likely will not be appearing for these 2 banners for sure. And for example, Gui Naifen, the chances of her appearing here in the first banner is quite low. But we need to know like more of their kit in order to like understand what characters might form and fall in line, because I think Hoyoverse does care about that. DOT tends to come out with DOT characters and stuff like that. But the nature of it, sustained character or supportive character, I think will be met with a DPS nature, and I think a character like Hook. Oh my god, I didn't actually went to break apart that image, so I'm just gonna do this out of laziness, pure laziness. So I think these 3 characters likely can make a good showing, but it does seem a bit strange that it will come out as the exact same order here for Hook as well as Pella. But I do think there is a high chance, because we still need a DPS here, and it makes sense to sell Hook in this manner because you have already a very strong character in Ronmei already that's going to sell the banner anyway. So it looks pretty decent, quite balanced, not super OP, not super bad. Of course, the OP one would be like this one here in 1.5 second half. This one is like pretty mild. That's my predictions for version 1.6 first half. For the second half, for Dr. Ratio's banner, it really depends on who's the partner 5-star coming out. I think there are many options available that could come out, but we'll talk about that in a bit. My thought process is, if Pella is here and Mark 7 is here, because it could really go either way, I think that likely the characters that are going to come out, of course, other than a character like Xue Yi, would probably be a character like Yu Kong. So far from what we've seen, Yu Kong has only came out when the banner character here is an imaginary unit. If you see Luo Ta here, Yu Kong's first appearance, Imbibed Lune, her rerun, so also one of the only characters with like 2 spacing gapping. She hasn't been appearing for 5 patches already, and Dr. Ratio will be like 6th, 7th. If she doesn't appear here, means that Luo Ta would likely be in 1.7 first half in order for the 7 cycle rule to appear, which is why I think the highest chance of Yu Kong is appearing here, which makes probably a Yu Kong Xue Yi together with Mark 7 kind of combo in the second half as well, which makes it a pretty interesting one because she's quite strong. Mark 7's E6 is pretty versatile as well, and Xue Yi is a new character for us to consider too. So I think the second half looks to be quite good, and that is my thoughts for the 4 stars. But now let's go on with the most fun one, is the 5-star predictions. We got it wrong the last time, unfortunately. We thought Jingyuan was going to come out, but here Silverwolf came out instead, likely because they needed something to prop up the 1.5 sales. Argent T was like kinda okay, didn't really do too well in marketing. Sustained characters are generally quite bland in total, so I think they wanted Silverwolf to boost up the spending, because a lot of people wanted to get her, maybe didn't join so early on, only started later on, like 1.1 second half and thereafter, and they're looking to pick up a very strong support. We'll talk about more about these characters, meta, who to pull for, investment value in other videos that we do always on the channel. Check that out if you're more interested in those kind of opinion videos. This one is just pure guessing based on like whatever we can find on like fluff and trying to make an intelligent guess, but ultimately it's just really a prediction video because it's nothing to do with leaks. I have no superior information compared to you guys even. My thought process is very strange that the drip marketing came out here of Ronmei, Dr. Ratio, and Xue Yi all on the same day, which means there is a possibility, because if you see the banner cycle so far, all of these characters came out with like one drip marketed, the next day is the other 5-star, and then it's always the same, like 1.1 second half will be the 4-star which comes out drip marketed the next day, and it's been the same for all these like past 6 months all the way to 1.5. 1.6 they did it a bit differently. I don't know whether it's because they want to put everything out on the Halloween kind of drip marketing, but either way, there is opening a possibility that it could look something like this. Maybe all 3 characters are in the first half, and maybe here's a double rerun in the second half. Why might that be a possibility? If 1.7 is Penacony, if they don't like delay with more filler content and stuff like that, they likely want players to at least have a while to save in this section over here. At least going into Penacony, you can spend more because you have more savings as well. Does help look their branding be a lot better in terms of marketing if you have your players reach an all-time high in spending and stuff like that. So I think that is a possibility of not releasing a new character in the second half. In that case, means there is a possibility of a double rerun. So we're going to talk about that. The obvious choice right now, if we see the pattern, is Zealer, you have Silverwolf. So it does make sense, I think, that Jingyuan is the highest likelihood of coming up. Also because you have a very popular character like Ruanmei, and you have a male character like Dr. Ratio, pretty good balance so far. In here you saw like mostly is waifu characters, so I think here they are trying to show a bit more balance, maybe to make the patches a lot more balanced. They might put Jingyuan here so they balance up the male and female ratio, at least how he has been. Also because he's a DPS character, makes sense to have like if you like his design, you want a hunt character, you can go for Dr. Ratio. If you don't want, you want a more erudition character focus, you can go for Jingyuan. There'll be new sets coming out, hopefully some of them buff these characters as well. So maybe with the new sets, new videos coming out of people doing a lot more damage with Jingyuan, I would definitely do more videos on that on the channel. Maybe it might spice it up for people to pull for him in the second half in 1.62, or we'll see how that goes too. My thought process, I think high likelihood that Jingyuan is coming out. If he doesn't come out, I think the other character, of course, likely will be Luota to come out. Why do I say that is, if you have a sustained character here, it makes sense that Yukong is coming out here together for Imaginary. If he's going to be like on the second half, she always appears on Imaginary character banners, and it's a pretty nice, because if you want to sustain here, or you want a unit like Dr. Ratio, but I think the chances of Luota is going to be quite slim, especially since he is quite a popular character, quite high in demand too. With Ruanmei here, I don't think they want to risk lowering the sales of the first half. They likely will put Luota in the next part. But based on my thought process, I think the highest likelihood will be Jingyuan. If they're really running a double rerun, we could see Luota. I don't think Blade Kafka would come out anytime soon. The characters that we see here, and based on the storyline thematic, doesn't make sense for them to come out. But then again, it didn't make sense for Silverwolf to be here either, so I don't think they care about the storyline for the second rerun character at all. At least that's what we are seeing so far. And that is my prediction video. So I lock in these answers. These are the 3 characters I think is going to be Ruanmei. These are the 3 characters I think is going to be in Dr. Ratio's banner. I already shared some special thoughts of why I think it could be one-sided, or why are there 2 faces here. Check it out if you're interested. Watch the rest of the video if you don't, if you just skip to the end. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.
Time to say bye. Boom. Stand still.
Me this minty box of Mario 2 for, you know, and it's not even like I was getting a deal on it. I'm willing to pay a little bit over what it's, you know, $5, even $10 just to walk away with something at this point. Oh no, all negotiations have been stopped.
I'm really feeling the vibe that I need to go out and start buying stuff instead of selling stuff, I think.
Alright, y'all
You got me all inspired.
No,
You got me all inspired.
No, you don't need any more of this. It's all just worthless junk. Go get in the car before I have one of those outbursts.
I think the idea of him selling some games sounded okay when Chris initially brought it up. When we got there, I think it was clear he didn't want to sell anything.
I mean, that would be kind of a first. Usually when we go into a place and somebody's willing to sell, I mean, they're willing to sell. I don't think it's ever happened. We've gone into a place and someone's been like, you know what, on second thought, I'm going to keep everything.
I was trying to get anything going, like an icebreaker, something. You know, because sometimes people like this, even, you know, you can get one thing out of them, maybe you can get a couple more things out of them, but this guy he just wasn't there.
This whole thing's on me, and Jay and Billy are pissed off at me because it was my contact. So he's all, this is your fault. This is your fault. This is your contact. You should have known better. Screw you, Jay.
All right, so Billy and Wood are gonna go follow up on the flea market guy. I unfortunately have prior commitments.
Maybe this is that 1% chance that somebody actually follows through with what they're going to do.
It ain't happening.
I expect them to come back with nothing, because same song and dance. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. I'll bring it next week.
A little confident here. Like, I think that maybe, and I hope so. Oh God, I hope so, because since Jay's not here, not able to make it, oh, it would be so sweet if everything was mine. I see him, he's here, so now it's time to just run up on him with cameras blazing. You bring those games or not?
So,
Did you bring the games?
I didn't. I didn't. I had to work.
And he didn't bring the games. I just don't think we can make it up here anymore, just because.
All right, guy didn't bring the games. Are you anyone surprised that he didn't bring the games that he definitely has? I don't know. I'm along for the ride. It's fine.
Give you my number. They want to give you my number. They want to give me my number. Wasted your time. Wasted your time. Wasted your time. Ah! You suck. Bull. In all fairness, I said that's what was going to happen. I never got a chance to look at the story. Look, I secretly knew too that this guy wasn't going to bring the games because it's the 99% rule. But you still have to follow up on them. You still have to do it.
You're not wrong. You do have to try, but it don't change the fact that, you know, we're now over when it comes to this kind of stuff.
The reason we went back and the reason we were pushing him is because just on the off chance it happens, we didn't want to let it go. And there's always that chance.
No games, whatever. I mean, Wood had a great time. We, explored the city. It's all about the memories and the times that you have and all that stuff. But it would have been better if we had those memories with video games!
Well, we're going down Dookie River. Here we go.
Oh, we're gonna go pick up this arcade machine. I'm like, dude, it's not gonna fit in here. We get there, we stuff it in this thing, full-size Nintendo arcade cab. The back catch shuts, and there's like a half-inch space around everything. The only thing is the way the cab's shaped, the passenger seat has to be all the way forward, and like the back has to be all like this. Like I rode the whole way home like that, because the top of the cab was rusting on the console.
We haven't been out in a while, so I think we're gonna hit the flea market a little bit this weekend. Why'd the lights flicker?
It's been a while since we've been out any flea market because it's winter in Texas and it's, there's not a lot out there like it is in springtime, but it's starting to warm up a little bit and we're going back to our honey hole, the only one that we don't get kicked out of when we film, so hopefully there's some stuff here.
I'm ready to move to Texas. I'm ready to get some games. I'm ready to do this.
So I was in for a surprise today. I go to Jay's and there's this Italian guy, Italian gamer, idiots for games, whatever they're calling themselves these days. I don't know. He's here.
I'm glad to hear because they're gonna help us film a little bit. And we got stupid redneck Chris, so we got an annoying Italian and an annoying redneck.
This is amazing. I get to look and I don't have to hold the camera. It just gets. Hope you're up to date on your shots.
You have nothing to fear.
So I don't expect much for video games out here today. However, that doesn't stop me from looking for other forms of useless junk.
I find this salt and pepper, salt and pepper cassette tape, and I give it to Jay as a joke, and he legitimately likes it. And I'm not surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised.
She's legitimately like that, don't you?
I found me a couple of cassette tapes. Salt and Pepper and Digital Underground on cassette.
You look like the biggest fuck.
It's Salt and Pepper. I mean, can't go wrong with them.
Where's Chris? He's not. That son of a bitch is breaking the rules already.
I'm not taking any prisoners today, and I'm going to be greedy. And if there's something that is gray and plasticky and or video game-ish, I'm grabbing it, and I'm not holding out. So these boys better be on it today.
Chris is gone. Chris is gone and gone around the corner and is already about 7 or 8 booths ahead of us looking for video games. And that's just not cool at all.
He's over here looking ahead and breaking rules.
So while these chodes are off f***ing around, you know, looking at cassette tapes, I'll go over there and I find Golf on the NES and LHX Attack Helicopter on Sega Genesis.
Finds video games off camera because he decided to go on ahead without the group.
Sorry, mad because I already...
What'd you find?
Just common crap, but $2 games, you know, get you some $2 games. I have not played LHX before. I'm guessing it's a top-down shooter, and you know, I've had, you know, played Urban Strike growing up.
You know, we're trying to actually film the transactions happening here. That's impossible unless we all stay into a group. But no, let's just have chaos.
So Chris is going up ahead, finding games and buying them. That's not necessarily shady. It just would be nice to get it on camera, you peck. That's the only thing with that. We do have a certain code of ethics, you know, because at flea markets, I go ahead all the time. Now, to be fair, I will wait and be like, there's games over here, let's go look. So yeah, actually, you know what? Yes, Chris is being extremely shady.
Finders Keepers, we're all in the same area. Y'all could have been there with me.
Dude, no, it was several tables down.
No,
Several
it was not. First off, it was not several tables down. It was not several tables down.
It was. Today's gonna be chaos, but let's just try to minimize it as much as possible and stick relatively close to the camera, please.
I just figured since it was golf and just like a random Genesis game, like that really didn't need to be documented that much, right? So whatever, give the man his $4 and keep on looking.
This guy's booth always has the most random of things. We have actually struck some somewhat gold at this guy's booth before. He's probably the best one in the entire flea market.
This is Jay's day for tapes, apparently. I gotta be honest, Tretch, underrated.
Somebody's gotta buy them.
Hey, what is that?
It's none of your business. That's what it is.
Okay. Just looking for tapes today, man. It's all in blue.
Billy's looking at what, a random Nintendo Wii or something. Doesn't even see the 3 complete PS1 games sitting right under his nose. So I'll wait for him to walk off and get those too.
Yeah, and I will.
I just want to see what PS1 games
No,
are.
they're all, no, these are mine. Not today. Not today. I know what you're up to. I know what you're up to. Not gonna happen. There, it's Sledge Storm and 007.
He's on to you.
And Siphon Filter.
He's on to you.
Yeah. Oh.
He knows.
What did you say? Try to say f off, but just got to the off part?
Something like that.
So Chris finds $2 PlayStation games. That's awesome. I mean, most of them I really don't care about. There are a few in here that I like. Siphon Filter, for one, was a game that I rented when I had my PS1 originally, and I liked it. I thought the battle system, the combat, and the whole. It was good. I liked it. I just don't remember much about it, so I'm not going to sit here and jabber on about it. I would have liked to picked it up again, but no. Chris has to worm his way into everything.
Eyes of the hawk today, baby.
Please stop coughing Corona in my face.
I love collecting PS1 games because I think PS1 holds up so much better than, I don't know, I'm going to get a lot of hate on this, but I think PS1 holds up better than the 64. Playboys for sure.
It's okay. It's the older stuff. Not your new subscription stuff, the older stuff.
So Christian found a Genesis for $5. There's always been a Genesis at this booth, but he's usually asking way more. I don't know why today he's only asking $5 for it.
5?
Oh, we're
Well, I didn't ask.
5 today, so hey. You can find the cords cheap, dude.
Actually, the cords are probably around here somewhere.
Actually, look. You might find.
Well, I found a Super Nintendo one.
I've had Super Nintendo power cords go out on me before, and just like controllers, you can never have enough.
Would you do $1 on that? $1? What? It's just a cord. How much?
Just a cord.
$2.
It says Nintendo.
Oh, well then, yeah. I mean, I don't want it.
Billy tried to pull the old oop-de-oop on the guy. You know, he just held up a power cord and was like, we take $1 on it. The guy was like, no. And then he pointed out that it had Nintendo written on it.
Well, then that's what's strange about it. It's not like he's overcharging on all his video game stuff. It's $2 games. It's a $5 Sega Genesis. Why wouldn't the power cord be $2? That seems to equate pretty good.
I can't blame Billy for trying, if I'm being honest.
All right, so I just picked up a couple of cassette tapes. Here's the thing. Video games are very hard to come by right now out in the wild. Come springtime, it should start picking up, but right now, you know what? Jay's buying what Jay wants, what Jay likes.
I'm gonna pull a Chris here. I'm gonna go on ahead and just kind of do my own thing, go at my own pace, look at my own leisure. I'm just gonna live my best life today at this flea market.
Screw it. I'm not herding cattle anymore. You're a real son of a bitch, you know that?
That's the way game chasing go?
No, it's not how it goes. That's a move. You went on before us.
$2. What's the name of the show? Is it the Cassette Tape Hunters or is it the Game Chasers? I'm chasing games. I'm not looking at records and cassette tapes. If that's what y'all want to do, then that's what y'all want to do. I'm out here for games. I'm out here for blood and games. That's what I come for.
So yeah, I got all that for $2. Each one for $2. How's that make you feel?
I don't like it because of the tactics that you employed to actually do this. It's really key. If there was a stack of games there and I needed them, there'd be a fight. Because that's bull.
First off, you've got a lot more than me, so you don't need anything. And second off...
Oh, I've been selling some stuff, so I have to pay for a damn movie. So I do need some stuff.
I'm savage. I will cut your throat for games now.
Okay, if we're going to play it that way, just remember, I got a better nose than you do when it comes sniffing this stuff out.
Chris and Billy, for some reason, are at each other's throats today. I don't know why. Being honest, I don't want to know why.
So we're at this one booth, and Chris is at the table, and I spy because I have a better eye than anyone here, a Sega Genesis game on the other end of the table, and I go around him, not even touching him.
What is it?
I find a Sega Genesis game called The Lion King. It's such a relaxing, pleasing game.
I was clearly on the right side of the table, making my way back to that game when you pushed past me like a big oaf and snatched it from, my grasp.
That's a really good game.
Now, I don't need this game at all, so I'm gonna pass on the love to somebody else, and Christian wants it. And it's only $3.
Your greasy squatch hand comes into frame.
So no decorum here, no decorum, no specific set of rules. I'm clearly on the right side of the table, and he pushes past me to get what he wants.
I did not push past you. I walked past you, and we were at the same table. Okay, you can't apply the same logic on that.
Push past me.
You're gonna draw back a bloody nub next time. I'm not gonna tolerate that anymore.
How much are y'all asking on this?
$5? For $5, I gotta get that.
So we're at this booth, and Chris, oh my God, he finds this Christmas ornament. That's beer.
I'm excited about it.
How much you pay for it?
$5. And it works.
Did you try to get it for 4?
No. Well, there's no point in arguing. It's something this awesome.
People that I have no idea who they are walking up being like, dude, what are you going on about?
Everybody wants to talk crap about how Chris isn't a redneck anymore and this and that. I gotta validate myself somehow.
You're very redneck.
Thank you.
If that makes you happy, then I'm happy
That makes
for
me
you.
ecstatic.
Awesome.
It's going to go up in the game room, in fact.
I'm out here for blood and games. That's what I come for.
I ain't no fake Italian. Oh, it's missing the wing.
Billy sees a broken X-Wing here. Now, some people might see this and go, oh, it's broke, toss it aside. You can use this for parts.
Ma'am. It's broken.
This lady, however, has decided that this broken piece of plastic, useless junk, is worth $10 to her. So I think Billy's gonna pass on it. She does have a tub of random G.I. Joe and Star Trek figures. I'm not into Star Trek at all. I know Billy is, but I don't think he's too much into the figures.
A little bit. Not a whole bunch, but a little bit.
Captain Pike.
It'd be awesome to be a trash man, don't you think? Like, I'd dig through trash and just see if people threw away anything cool.
Oh, okay.
Well, Serpentor.
Yeah.
Serpentor on
He became an alien?
chemo treatment. Holy hell, he looks weird without his helmet.
No kidding.
His hood.
I am super big into G.I. Joe, but actually a lot of these are a little bit later than when I stopped collecting. They're all, most of them are around 92 or so. The ones that aren't, I already have.
If I was into Star Trek figures, this would be a gold mine, but I'm not really.
So this flea market, while it didn't yield any sort of like amazing finds or anything like that, everybody kind of walked away with something. Well, except me, I didn't get anything here.
Liquid ass. No, overall, just be happy to be finding games. I mean, even if it is golf. Oh, I'm ecstatic with what I got. What? Molly's. What? Get the fucking camera out of my face.
Since we're over in this area, we're gonna go ahead and hit this 25-cent thrift store. I don't know why they call it that. Nothing there is 25 cents.
So this 25-cent store, they will not let us bring in big giant honking cameras. So I have to sneakily take in the GoPro.
They've got these plastic tubs, and I see the most glorious thing I've ever seen. It said $3 games.
Usually when you see a tub, it's a $3 games or $2 games, and they're that cheap, and it's just, they're scraps. These are not scraps, and it's very rare to come across a lot like that. You actually have decently priced games, and they're not crap.
Can't complain at $3 a video game. Give me that shit. Me and Billy are on these games like hyenas on a fresh kill.
It's hard to find cheap games anymore these days, so finding anything at this point is a good. What did you guys get?
Bionic Commando. One game that I'm picking up out of this tub, this clear tub, happens to be Bionic Commando. And I don't have this game. And judging by the artwork on the cover, I gotta pick it up.
You getting that?
Probably.
Off-road, and I know Chris is a little bit jealous on that.
Billy comes in like a jerk off and freaking sucks it up out of the tote that I was looking at. I was like, damn it, I should have got that. Off-road, I was gonna get off-road. I did play off-road. I had that as a kid growing up, and I remember playing it with my dad. But I don't have it, and I should have picked it up. That was a slip on my behalf.
He used to have the game apparently as a kid. I don't remember him having it at his house on NES. I know on Super Nintendo we rented it one time, and I was like, meh, whatever. I am also picking up Joust, and for whatever reason, I don't have Joust on the NES. I don't know why. It's a basic arcade game, but it's Joust, and I don't think I've ever played the NES version.
Oh, look at me, chasing games.
What'd you find?
I found a couple NES games that I don't know if I have Joust, funny enough. And
are you serious?
No, I mean, if you found a Joust arcade for $3, that would definitely make me jealous.
Jacking games, left and right. I'm good on all those.
I'm going to assume that these games hadn't been out very long. There were actually some pretty decent titles, some definitely decent titles worth picking up for $3 each.
So great time here at the 25-cent thrift store. There's more down the road. Let's go check them out. I'm sorry, but this shirt is stupid.
You're just jealous.
I bought him that shirt.
You're just jealous. This is officially licensed PlayStation. This is PlayStation legitimate licensed material right here. Get this from Radio Shack. This is Robbie the Robo Banker. You put the coin in his hand and he eats it. That's actually pretty cool.
So we've been to most of these before in the past, but it's been a while. So we're going along in this place, and then all of a sudden I hear Christian fly past because apparently his girlfriend is doing scouting for him.
Freaking went off ahead without us and starts scouting games for him because he's holding the camera. Boo-hoo.
We're just gonna, take the rules and...
So he's like debating on whether or not he wants the game. He's like, well, how much is it worth? I'm like, it doesn't matter how much it's worth. Do you want it or not? Like, he's like, but how much is it worth?
What game
no,
is it?
True Lies. Well, Arnold.
How much is it?
It's like $37 and
How
change.
much is it?
Oh, $10.
Yeah, it goes for more than that.
Yeah. $37 and change.
So Christian and Chris are fighting. And they're not fighting. They're almost like in a Cold War over this True Lies on Sega Genesis. Now I have the Super Nintendo version, don't have the Sega Genesis version. I'm sure it's the same, but I mean, clearly both of them have dibs on it, and they're circle jerking to figure out who's gonna get the damn thing.
You gonna pick it up?
You're talking about True Lies, right?
Yeah. You want it or not?
It's like you're playing poker with me right now. You're doing the poker face.
Fine, I'll take it if you're not gonna take
well,
it.
I never clarified if I'm taking it or not. Yet.
Well, and I was gonna get it, and I was like, "Are you gonna pick this up or what?" He was like, "Well, I don't know. Is it worth anything?" And I'm like, "You tell me. Is it worth anything? Like, do you have it?" So I was trying to Jedi mind trick him.
I mean, I'll take it.
I'll go for it. I'll take it. Okay.
That was smart. Why does it matter what it's worth? Either you have it, you don't have it, and you need it, or you have it and it doesn't matter. But you're like, "Oh, I'll pick it up if it's worth something. I'll pick it up if it's worth." Or just pick it up.
You don't want to pull me with.
You do not want this True Lies.
So, if it was me, I would have pulled the same trick as Eric and Battletoads to be like, oh, "You don't want it. I'll take it." You're not slime ball like I am.
I'm not willing to break that code of ethics yet.
It's because you don't know him too well. Once you get to know him, then it's game on.
Well, that was his one and only get out of jail free
okay.
with that. So
okay.
And he's like, well, he was like, he felt very Eric-ish. He was like, he was waffling on it. Oh, it's not complete.
It's not complete. You don't want it. No?
It was a game that I didn't have and I was truly going to get because I wanted it. And Christian's all over here him-hawing around. I don't know, is it worth anything? Are you going to get it or are you not going to get it, Christian? I'll still pick it up if you don't want it.
But yeah, Chris will pick it up if you don't want it, though. Sorry,
It's
I
not
tried.
that slow.
I tried.
You thought I was that slow?
You going to pass on it?
No, I'm ground.
Jacking games, left and right.
Chris, bless his heart, he found a $30 or $40 PlayStation 1 game.
I'll take this. Sure, why not? Point Blank 2.
What is it?
PlayStation?
Oh, see?
No. The title is obscure. I've never seen it before.
This is $3 game.
It's $2.
Oh, well, that's even better, man. You save $1.
Point Blank 2.
And then Chris just comes at me about some PS1 game. And I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. I found it right under your nose. Found it right under your nose. Walked right past it. Found it. Looked it up. $37 game.
So Chris had that Point Blank 2, and he's sitting here trying to rank on everyone. Oh, look at me, look what I found. Found $30 game, $2.
I'd already made up my mind I was getting it before I looked at the price, how much it was worth, but it was a $30 game that had a $2 price tag on it.
But the moron doesn't know is I found it 10 minutes before him. It literally says wrong disc on the cover of it. I opened it up, and it's like a demo disc, PlayStation Magazine or something like that. He can't read, and I showed him, and of course his face was like this. Oh man, that was you, Chris.
Oops.
This is embarrassed face.
Totally got gypped. So I've been walking around talking crap for like a good solid 20 minutes that I'm getting this game, and it's not even the right game in the damn Joel tray.
You look like the biggest ball.
What makes me happy is the look on his stupid face because he now realizes that he's a moron.
I don't even know what I was thinking.
Well, I'm a floating head, Hey, you know what? This has been my day.
Less, like $1.75 a piece or something.
These are some Looney Tunes etched glasses. They're from the 70s. I believe 76 was the date on them. They have Pepsi branding on them.
Yeah, these especially. I don't have that one. I might have that one and this one, but that condition, like, does that go with this?
I have a whole cupboard full of these things. I do have one or two of these. That's okay. I'll go ahead and pass them off to the next guy who might want them, but there are some in here that I do not have. 6 glasses, $12, $2 a piece. I'm happy with that.
I said I want to punch Jay in his stupid fat face right now. Interesting face. And he's all, mocking me, and it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, you didn't read the cover.
It's okay.
Not everything's a competition, guys. Sometimes it's just about having fun and... You know what? Nah. There's 2 games up at the front that Chris didn't see. And I'm gonna go over there and make a big ordeal out of it because of all the crap that he's been putting me through today. Hey, Chris, what were you doing over there?
What? Looking at games.
Look at your game. Well, I found some.
Whatever.
Wait, where the hell did that come from? That wasn't there when I was here last.
The NES games?
I was just here. That wasn't here.
They're face down and looking away from us, so we have no way of knowing what these games are.
I got dibs on them because I saw them first, and we're just gonna wait for the lady to come unlock the case.
It's Fable, and I never seen those games. So somebody just put those games in the case. I'm gonna confirm it. I'm pissed off.
I'm gonna guarantee that they were in there and he just overlooked it.
I'm telling you, I would have seen that.
And oh my God, I hope they're awesome. I hope it's Panic Restaurant and Zombie Nation. Now it becomes a competition. Oh, I would so rub it in their face if it's those.
It's not going to be like a Samson and a Flintstones laying on top of each other. So, whatever, Billy, go in there and get them. Still not looking at your junk.
And I look at the case, I pull out the games, I look at them. Holy crap! Are you kidding me? They used Sharpie to write the price on the back.
Got Red Racer.
Okay, I've already got it.
Yeah, Championship Bowling.
I don't have championship bowling.
Okay, and they are $7 a piece.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And Sharpie.
All right.
I cannot
Close.
get out of here, so.
We're good.
So, all in all, this day has definitely been it's just been a great day of walking around and joking with the guys and making some new friends and maybe some new enemies.
I don't talk like that.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
No! That's Chris.
Go ahead and say something.
Your hair looks fucking stupid.
See? What'd I tell you? Oh, you're stupid.
At the end of the day, it's not about what you find. It's not about the value. It's not about any of the superficial stuff. It's about the memories and the camaraderie and spending time with your friends and the memories you make. It's the way game chasing go. Wish I would have found 2 really good games in that case, though. That would have been just icing on the cake.
I'm happy with the things I found. Not video games, but it's still nerd stuff.
I'm out here for blood and games. That's what I come for.
What's wrong with these guys?
What's going on, Chode?
So I'm sitting at home, I'm enjoying my evening, and I get a phone call from Chris, and he's like, bro, you better come meet me at the In-N-Out parking lot, because the game deal's about to go down. And I'm like, what kind of game deal are you talking about? Bring the camera, it's on. So here I am, I got the camera, and so let's see what's on.
I opened my holes.
It's my cousin Billy, the dude with the camera.
I found a guy that had a boxed NES. He had it posted for $175, which I'm not paying $175 for it. So I told him, I said, you know what? I'll give you $125 for it.
Dude, that's a clean box, dude. Yeah.
Beautiful. Minty.
So Chris apparently has made a deal. What are you? Deal for a complete inbox or almost complete inbox NES system. I was so adorable. I remember my first complete NES system when I started collecting. It's a little late on him, but you know what? At least he's getting one, right?
Yeah, it's clean.
I love it. And I've got all the paperwork at the house from that Nintendo, the Power Pad, so it's like I've got a CIB freaking action set finally. I'm so happy about this.
So this guy's digging this stuff out. I'm like, well, what'd you pay for the boxed NES? And he was like, $125. And I'm like, oh God, why? Dude, that's overpaying a little bit, don't you think? You can get one for less than $100.
But wait, there's more. It wasn't just the boxed NES.
Zelda, Mario 2, and Mario 3.
So he starts bringing out some of these games that come with this NES, and actually he's got some classics in there. He's got the Mario games. He's got Zelda.
Yeah, these will all be doubles except for this. This Zelda cart's the only one that I don't have.
I think the Zelda franchise is great, and I understand why it's got such a big following. They're great games. I've played a lot of them. I just never had, you know, a huge.
Another one in here is Gyromite. I remember playing Gyromite once as a kid because my friends have it. One of those novelty games that I never really got into, and really it's designed to go with Rob, but you can play it with your other controller, but it's really designed to go with Rob.
That's a really good game.
Do you have any interest in any other consoles?
I want a box Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That's the other one I'm looking for. I've got all the
ones and the ones inside here with the sleeve.
Right. Yeah. Awesome.
And it's all clean. There's no broken padding or whatnot.
Yeah, awesome.
The gold cart Zelda is the only one that will go in the collection of mine because that's the only one I need. Of course, I'll keep the Super Mario Brothers and the Duck Hunt with the NES because that's the one that actually came with that Nintendo. It was actually his as a kid. He's sitting there selling his childhood NES to me for $125. I was like, you're messing up.
So after learning that he's getting a lot of games that goes with this NES, the $125 actually becomes a pretty decent deal. Not a screaming deal, not a, hey, I just scored the most amazing deal of all time sort of deal, but a good deal. Big deal. Deal. I know you're gonna say,
There's a whole box of stuff in here. I'm trying to.
Well, let me see what else you got.
Whoa, you got stuff in there? More stuff?
Maybe.
So apparently this guy's got more stuff.
So I got it's probably the best one out of the lot, but.
So is this all your stuff from your kit? You're selling your. Oh, you're gonna regret this in about.
So I got the
5 years.
Got that one. Got the classic Tetris. Kirby, Wario Land, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Land.
So I don't have hardly any Game Boy stuff at all.
It's the lime green one's the nice one. That's
not bad. It's not bad. What are you asking on that?
I think 60. And it's clean.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't have any more. Hold on to it. Is that all you got? See, I've got a PS1. You've got a Wii.
PS1,
Just
PS3.
That's a really good game.
So I look into the box and don't find anything I need.
Dude, I appreciate.
Yeah, no worries.
My first box retro console, dude. I'm stoked. I appreciate it.
In all honesty, I do love watching Chris pick up things and collect because you can. It's almost like you could see childlike excitement in him. He really does get super excited about things. And he's getting excited right now because this NES box does not come with the paperwork, so it's not complete. However, on some previous lot that he had picked up a week prior or so, it had a power pad and just so happened to have the paperwork for an NES system. No NES system, but the paperwork for it. So he has it at home, and now he's all going bonkers because now he does have a complete NES boxed system. So I feel like I've said that way too many times.
I've even got the Nintendo Zapper manual.
Look at that. Somebody didn't have a friend to play with.
That's a brand new controller.
Someone didn't have a friend to play with. Look at that.
Oh, no.
Look at that. And it was never taken out of the plastic. That's funny.
That's crazy.
But look, you can tell the difference because look how clean that is and look how dirty that one is.
I feel bad for exposing this one to UV.
See, look at how much cleaner that one is.
Yeah. Dang, a brand new freaking.
I love box stuff. I don't know. There's just something about box stuff being in your hand, looking at boxes, and I never thought that I would. Did you just fart?
Yeah.
The door's shut. There's no ventilation in here. You fuck. I don't know. I want to collect box things because I'm glad you think this is very funny. I want to, dude. Open the door. Fucker. Gross. I like it. 125 bucks. I don't think that's a bad deal. You know, like I said, I'm gonna sell the doubles.
That smelled like ketchup and a bag of potato chips when you opened it. That was so still.
For me, a boxed NES takes me back to Christmas as a kid, and you know, a boxed Super Nintendo takes me back to Christmas as a kid, and that's really the reason why I want a box console so bad. It's because those, you don't really so much remember the games that you got on Christmas morning, like you do, but not as much. But you remember the consoles that you got on certain years. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, Christmas of, you know, 90 whatever, we got that Super Nintendo, and you know, freaking, oh, I got a 64 that year, or I got a PlayStation. Like, everybody has those memories. So for me, that's why I want boxed consoles. It's just like, not like I'm trying to go through like getting everything that I own in boxes with manuals. I just want certain things boxed.
There are some things I'll never get rid of, and the NES box I will never get rid of because it defines gaming for me. I had gamed before the NES, but it wasn't until the NES came along and just opening that box that my grandfather got me that I was like, man, I will be a gamer forever, and that's held true to this point.
There was never enough games to go around. It was always begging for Turtles or Chippendale Rescue Rangers, or it was always, we wanted more games because we played the shit out of this. I actually like, you know, reading the manuals and stuff from back in the day. It just gives, everybody's got that certain nostalgia for it. And there's something about coming into your game room and seeing like a box Nintendos. You're just like, it's complete. Everything's in there. Everything's in there.
Thank you, grandfather, for that NES system and the memories of looking at that box associated with that. Every time I look at that box, I'm reminded of those times, and I think that's why a lot of us like boxes. And you know, the games are the games, and the games will always be fun. But there's just something about boxes, and if you have the room for them and you have the inkling to collect them, they're really super cool. And you know, you may not have time to pop in Mario Brothers or whatever, or you know, whatever game you want to play at any given moment, but when you're walking by on the shelf, you look up at that box of whatever system that you know you love, and you're like, that's some good memories right there. And that's why I like boxes.
Other than the tape, you know, but whatever. I can live with that shit. Freaking awesome. 125 bucks. I think I got a win on that.
In the In-N-Out parking lot, deals were made, games were bought, and I think everybody left happy. Yeah.
What's wrong with these guys?
Arcade auction.
So we are here at an arcade auction. This is actually the first one of the year. I'm excited to get out of the house and do something besides sit on the couch like a bum.
So of course we're playing it safe here. We got our masks. I got my special Darth Vader mask. It's actually a workout mask, but they're not designed for, you know, filtration, but I have modded it. I put a little filter on it where the air goes in, just as good as a mask. In fact, even better. So I'm feeling pretty good.
So the reason we're even coming to this auction is because I've been collecting arcade machines to open an actual arcade.
Billy, you trying to pick anything up or what?
No, I'm not. I'm here to basically just hang out.
It's humid, hot in here, wearing masks. It's not a very pleasant environment or smell right now. It smells like man pits, Doritos, and regrets.
Fart?
It's crazy. Like, you look at these machines, and you compare them to the newer machines that are coming out. The newer machines have just so much more stuff in them, man. It's crazy. But that's what people want. People want the newer machines with all the
sounds and music and lights, and there's a Jurassic Park one where the head actually, you know what I mean, like the T-Rex head, and I see him. So mature.
One thing that's catching my eye is something I've never seen before, and it's apparently one of the rarest arcade cabinets ever made.
This is legit. Is it cool?
Yeah.
Does it add to it?
This is legit. It's common for games to have a stand-up and a sit-down version. I've just never seen the Missile Command. This thing is big, it's gaudy, and it's amazing. It looks so good. This is such a good-looking cab. When you're sitting in there, it's almost like you're sitting in a cockpit, actually.
And this thing is freaking awesome.
Missile Command, the game itself, is actually a pretty fun game. You got missiles. You have to shoot these out of the sky before they hit your bases on the bottom. And the way this works is you have to actually lead. You have to lead the projectile that's coming towards your base.
It screams 80s video game era.
Look, I know this. This is an extremely rare cabinet. I know it's going to be in the thousands of dollars most likely. The question at this point is, how high is it going to go?
I have money I can spend. I'm trying to spend money, so it's not like last time where I'm gonna get called deep pockets for spending $10.
Well, having investors is an awesome thing. It allows you to actually buy arcades in an arcade auction. Something that we're not too familiar with. We usually go to arcade auctions with our hands in our pockets, tugging on our balls, because what are we gonna do, bid?
It's a different feeling having money versus being broke. It's like, if I can equate it to anything, it's like going to McDonald's and looking at the double quarter pounder with cheese meal and being like, oh man, gosh, two patties, just dripping wet with grease, melted cheese. You know, you got your slivered onions, you got your pickles, boom, all that kind of stuff, right? You get your large soda pop, you get your large fries, salted to perfection. Those McDonald's fries, am I right? But then going, but I'll take 2 McDoubles. You got smaller patties, it's dried out, cheese is half melted, diced onions instead of. That's what it's like. That's what it's like, but it's nice to be on the side of the fence where I can get that double royale with cheese meal, so.
Hear my belly rumble, something more than bread. A nice big steak and fries to go.
What are you doing back?
I'm playing Galaga right now. There's a metal slug down that I want to get. I grew up playing it on a ferry boat going from New England, Connecticut to Long Island, New York. A lot as a kid, you know, with me and my brother, so if I can grab it, I'll be happy.
I got my eye on a few things that I hope Jay gets. One in particular, I'm actually checking out here that I really like, and is Trog. So I'm gonna try to nudge him, try to get him to get this Trog here.
No, I bet it goes over a G.
Actually, Billy was freaking doing pretty good. He's been on this machine a good 17 to 23 minutes easily, right? That's a long time. So much so they literally unplugged the machine on him. But at one point I looked over at Billy and he was like this. That's a really good game. Trog! All right, auction is starting. Let's see if the J can find anything good here.
Something really cool is that they have some new old stock. They have a Nintendo versus Unisystem. It's basically a conversion kit. I think it's a conversion kit. And so the games on this particular one are Donkey Kong 3, Popeye, Mario Brothers, and one or two others. But the catch is that they're the NES versions, not the arcade versions. I think anything that's new old stock, like I get a kick out of. So seeing these boxes here like this and knowing that no one's ever touched them before, I think that's awesome.
So there's a couple of kits here. You could probably even call them conversion kits, and it's as easy as basically swapping out the insides. There's Neo Geo one here.
So $50 buyer, 164.
All right, so lucky for me, not a whole lot of people are wanting Neo Geo stuff right now, I guess. So $50. I got this Neo Geo kit. I'm ready to go. Good stuff.
All right, so now we got to the cocktail tables. And I like cocktail tables. You can put your drinks down. I don't know.
Somebody's gotta buy them.
These were actually very common in Pizza Huts, things of that nature. I have a Donkey Kong already. I know that's in here. I'm eyeballing this Mr. Do though.
Well, I got that one. I like the Mr. Do.
Look at all the balls.
Mr. Do is a game that I have recently been turned on to. It's actually a really, really fun game. Extremely fun game. It's sort of like a... Oh, God. How can I describe this? You got enemies after you, you're collecting apples. I know that sounds extremely boring, but it's an extremely fun game. You know what? It's a fun game. It's a fun game.
Well, 200, 250, and 300 now, 300, I get it down here to 3. I'm at 250 to 3, 300, I get it down here to 300 now, 50. I'm at, you're out now.
It's running up pretty quick here. I'm at 350.
And 300 now, 50, now 4, now 400, I get it down here to 4.
I'm not going any higher than that.
Now 4, now 400, I get it down here to 4. And 50, now 450. I'm at 400, I get it down here to 50, down 50, 425, sir. 425, now 50.
And somebody wants this machine more than I do. That's okay. I'm okay with that. You know why? Be patient. Because I will find what I want at the price I want to pay.
And he goes, oh, like that, all stupid looking.
So at $425 buyer number.
Stupid game chasers.
I can guarantee you ain't sold one in 6 months.
No, at least.
I'm trying to make a play on this joust machine here. This is a machine that I will definitely spend a little bit more money on. Well, way more than $10. I'm willing and ready. This is a machine I don't have yet. This is a machine I definitely want. You know what? I'm gonna go 8. Screw it. That's my final. That's it. If it goes above that, I'm out. I'm kind of not really holding my breath because there's lots of stuff here I can still buy with that $800, but definitely hoping nobody's gonna outbid me.
850. Down 9. Down 9. 850. Down here to 900. 9.
He ain't sold one in a couple years. Somebody can ask him about it.
So Jay's bidding on this joust, and I'll be honest, I'm not much of a joust fan. I much prefer my balloon fight.
I got 900. I got 825. 925. 925.
And a quarter.
I'm out. This thing wound up selling for 9. All right, good on them. That's just a little more than I wanted to pay.
I told him, I said, you know what? I'll give you $125 for it.
We never. I mean, that's a very rare game. What is it? Arctic? It says Arctic Electronics. And the game is Mars.
So we got this game Mars here. This is not something I have to have, but it's something a little unique that might make for a good filler machine. So, you know, why not? I'll throw a couple $100 at it and see what happens.
With this one, I don't think I've ever played, and it looks kind of interesting.
Say 200.
I got 200 here, JR.
I got 250 with Roy. Now 3. Now 50. Now 4. Now 50. And 500. I'm at 450. Down here. Now we're right here in the front row.
All right, it quickly ran up more than I wanted to pay. No harm, no foul.
It's worth some big money to somebody somewhere.
Sure, $450.
Out of this room.
Sucks. Would have loved to have Mars in the barcade that I'm going to frequent a lot. Look, I like space games and I like Mars. I like Mars. I've liked Mars ever since I've seen Total Recall. Total Recall, it's cool. Or even War of the Worlds. They were from Mars in the original movie. But then when the series came out, they were from Mortax season 1, not from Mars. And then to add to the confusion, in season 2 of War of the Worlds, they were from Molthrai. It's like, make up your mind.
I think our resources here are being harvested by outside sources, be it aliens or Decepticons or whatever. So maybe it's time to jump ship and start over, colonize a different planet.
Not to be confused with Mothra, by the way.
Somebody, you don't see the.
So now we have the super rare, the missile command sit down.
We're about to start bidding on it. Let's go. Well, I'm not, but someone is.
They say there's only about 10 of them left in the world, folks. And this is the beauty. There was only 75 made, so.
JR 40 years ago at that.
Now they're saying there were only 75 of these ever made, and I'm looking, and it says on my research, I'm looking, it says 200 were made. Still a low number. I don't know who's lying. Someone's lying. Well, but it's so the auctioneer starts off in the thousands in this thing, and well, it's not going home with us.
I'm at 62, I'm gonna get it down here, down 63, I'm gonna down 62, I'm gonna get it down here, down 63.
Might be the last one you'll sell in your life.
I'm sure it will be.
It's the only one we've ever sold.
63. Sold 6,200.
It's a California buyer, 215.
This machine sold for $6,200, y'all. I knew it'd be up there. I'll be honest, I didn't think it'd go above 2,500.
I'm not going out. Look at the side art on it. Hey, JR, look at the side art of this game.
All right, so now we're up onto one of the ones that I really hope Jay wins. I was playing this a lot before the auction started, and I've never been the biggest Trog fan. I know Jay loves it on the NES, but the experience on arcade is different. It's obviously the same game, but it's I don't know, it's got these cool like claymation graphics.
It's sad and it's disgusting is what it is.
And while this is not an original Trog cabinet, it's still a really good Frankenstein, and Trog's just a great game. I play this a lot actually on NES, and in my opinion it's a hidden gem on that console. It looks fantastic on arcade actually.
I think he's gonna bid on it. I just hope he wins it. I gotta win something on this damn auction.
This is at the top of my list.
Let's see where we're at.
Good use of space.
And right to you now, how much you are? I'm at 200, get down here.
All right, bidding starts here. 300, easy. Let's go. 4.
Yeah. And 5. I'm at 200, get down here.
Yeah.
5, 6. Damn, we're up to 7. Oh, it's gotten up to 8. At this point, I gotta ask myself, do I want to go higher?
I think you want to give 850. You want to give 850 Chicago Cubs. Now 900, Danny.
I just bid $850 on this machine. That's insane, isn't it?
And 900, get it out here. You want to be 875?
I'm a cheap son of a bitch. So you know I want this machine.
You know what I hate about these auctions is the auctioneers.
75.
Now I'm holding my breath, hoping don't. There's been one other guy, and I don't know who, because every time they say, yep, they do that, and I turn around like they're gone. I'm hoping whoever the hell it is yelling behind me is not going to get this machine.
Why is that necessary?
You want to be 875, sir. 850 now, 75.
Just please don't bid another time on this.
Look, don't please, because I don't think he's gonna go 900. I don't think that he's gonna go 900.
Fart.
Now be 75. Sorry, $850. What's your number? 164.
Wrong.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I gotta be honest. That's a lot of money. This is a cab. Straight up in DFW, I've never seen this in any arcade in DFW. You know what? I don't care. I don't care that it's not an original cab because you're playing the game. That's the bottom line here. People are gonna play the game. They're not gonna look at the cab and be like, actually, that's not original.
We'll go to this arcade or go to this arcade. Well, this arcade has Trog. Let's go to that one.
I'm a floating head. Okay, so I only got 2 things here. I got the Neo Geo kit, conversion kit, and I got the Trog machine. I'm okay with that, actually. The Trog in itself is an extremely uncommon to rare arcade cabinet that most places don't have. I'll be honest, of all the arcades that I've ever been in, all over this country, and I do travel a lot, I've never seen a Trog machine. That don't mean they're not out there, just the ones I've been to, I've never seen a Trog machine. Okay, so we got a local store out here called Freaks and Geeks. Amazing store, amazing owners. I love these guys. Unfortunately, they're closing down for about a year. Hopefully only about a year.
The apocalypse wasn't too kind on them, and they're having to close their physical doors, and they're going to go online only.
They're getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and part of that whole bunch of stuff is, well, about 5 arcade machines.
So he's picking up some pretty cool machines here. One of them is RoboCop.
I've learned over the last few months that a lot of people really like RoboCop. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
This RoboCop game is a lot like the Atari ST version of RoboCop it was one of the Atari ST games that I owned, and I played a ton of it. It was so hard to get to Ed 209. Every time I got past, which was the first stage boss, by the way, I considered that I'd beat the game because it was so hard. It's almost like a spitting image of that Atari ST game. It's pretty. This thing is cool, and I will definitely be on this arcade machine a lot. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, that's not original.
Little known fact, RoboCop was actually shot in Dallas, which is, well, not where we're at right now, but it is relatively close to us by about 40 miles. I don't know why I looked at my
vicinity.
list. Yeah, it's local.
Weren't parts of 3 filmed in Houston? Is that right?
I think bits and pieces of the entire series was filmed in Dallas, because in every one of them you can see the Dallas skyline, but there may have been Houston for a few scenes too.
Now we have a game called Pyros. I have no idea what this game is about. I've never touched it in my entire life, but it looks like it could be decent just from the marquee, which I don't know how you could exactly judge it by the marquee, but yeah, whatever.
It's a really good game. Road Riot 4-wheel drive. That is actually a stand-up racing machine. So if I'm being honest, most of these are just filler machines, but there's some good filler machines.
Now this is cool. He's getting Growl. Now Growl is it's not as common of a beat 'em up. You know, when you think beat 'em ups at the arcade, obviously you think Simpsons and Turtles and X-Men and Final Fight and all that stuff. But do you think of Growl? I don't think you do. But Growl's pretty cool too. You're basically going out and murdering poachers, and you use your fists and weapons, and you even use a machine gun. Because, poachers definitely need to be blown away. Another game here, Altered Beast. I was never the biggest Altered Beast fan. I've played it on Genesis and different. I don't like it. I think it sucks. Booty hole.
Altered Beast sucks. If I'm being honest, Altered Beast blows.
Look, I stand by my convictions.
Walks around like this, hitting motherfuckers, right? It's not a horrible game. It's not a horrible game. But it's not the best arcade game out there, but everyone knows it. So we got all these machines in, all 5 of them in. We got them strapped down pretty good, I think. You got the ratchet straps, which, don't go in there with like yarn trying to move arcade machines.
It really sucks. This was one of those, I guess, cornerstone stores that, if we were out in this area and we were game chasing flea markets and stuff like that, and we could, we were just having no luck or whatever, this was a place that would be, we know we could come and at least get something. And it's awful. It sucks.
You know why they call him the Dead Lilac, right? It's the purple flash you see before you die.
That's kind of crazy to be honest, though.
Stop.
Bro, what level allegations? You done as fuck, bro. I built this shit from the ground up, from the very bottom all the way to the top. You're not gonna tell me otherwise. I'm not gonna buy with that shit. What he's not do?
Yo.
Whenever I say light everything, dude, it's just cringe.